the European calendar, on the football calendar at large. Protocol is just being outlined on who's going to go out for the ceremonial handshake to start this game. We've got a good number of dignitaries here at the stadium, and the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sports in Tanzania is here as well, together with Kenya's former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and a good number of other football officials, both from Nairobi and from Tanzania. The men who are going out is the Kenya Federation officials as well, together with Susan Mlawi, the PS in the Sports Ministry in Tanzania. There's also a Sport Pesa CEO from Nairobi, Ronald Karauri, and there's Yusuf Singer as well, and the FKT CEO as well. William Wadri has already picked up 2 Man of the Match checks of $500 each for his performance for the Bandari side, and would be looking to try and end up being the man of the tournament as well. Felipe Lumbashioyo is the captain of the Bandari side. He's a Congolese import for the Kenyan side. He's doing the introductions to the former Prime Minister, who's now gotten an African Union posting as well, and was also part of the current president's Big Four agenda ambassadors to try and see through the Republic of Kenya into better times. The lone flag of Kenya will be flying on the stands, but I can tell you for sure that Bandari has imported fans into this place overnight to be able to give it a feel similar to what they get at home. Bandari side, for the benefit of my guests as well, I will tell Stephen Pina that Bandari just means the ports, because the team is sponsored by the Kenya Ports Authority. But we'll get into that as we get into the game as well. Often a very good time and chance as well to showcase your talent if you're playing football in Africa. A lot of things go on in the stadium. There's dancing on the other side, there's a handshake on this side, and we have to look at who's going to be playing here on the K-Shark side, Kariobangi Sharks that is. They haven't changed their lineup at all. I think they're sticking to the winning team. And Oyemba will be the one who's going into goal. And then the back four is with Michael Bodo, who scored the ultimate penalty that put them through in there. Abuya Duke has scored a goal and was given a man of the match performance as well, together with Harrison Mendwa and Abege, another one who has scored for the Kariobangi Sharks. So they've got a very good team that will want to win it so that they can be hosting Everton in Kenya, because the winner will obviously come from Kenya. And so the Everton side, the first club to be presented with the League Championship trophy, will be hosted in Kenya. That very important souvenir of a picture from the Kariobangi Sharks. It will almost look like a Kenyan Premier League match as well, a Sport Pesa Premier League match in Kenya. That is only good for the nerves to calm down, but in terms of knowing that $30,000 is out there for grabs as well, and a chance to play Everton, it means that it will go just beyond the monetary motivation for a game. The center referee for today's match is Manirakiza Eric from Burundi is a teacher of mathematics. We do hope that he'll get his calculations right in this very difficult final here. Faruk Shikalo is in goal. Frank Kata Kingatua gets a first team place today. Feli Mulumba, Wadri, Bernardo Diambo. Yema Mwana also starts as well, so they haven't changed that team at all from the team that played the last time. They're hoping that that will also give them the kind of result they want in this game. So that's a back four. The Ugandan Kata, the Congolese Mulumba, Odhiambo and Major. And then in the midfield, they've got Agade, Abdallah, Misi and Kingatua, whose runs will be needed today. Up front is Yema Mwana, the Congolese, and William Wadri, another Ugandan on that side. So a very, you would say, a cocktail of cultures and nationalities as well in this game. A man who decided to come from being a team manager into a coach, William Muluya, has already succeeded in leaps and bounds with the Kariobangi Sharks side. Coming in with a very good record of no loss in the last 5 matches in the Premier League, winning 3 and drawing 2. I think they're very well set up for this. The chairman of Kariobangi Sharks as well has had to come in to see how his team is going to be performing in the finals. Yeah. They just recently acquired this coach, Bernard Mwalala, himself a player who plied his trade here in Tanzania. And a former international from Kenya. 3 wins and 2 draws is what Bandari has at the moment in the Sport Pesa Premier League. So a lot said about the history that they're sharing here. The CEO of football of Kenya Premier League, Jack Uguda, is on your right, joining other dignitaries to watch this final from the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. Another thing you'll have to consider is the weather will favor the Bandari side because they play to similar weather in Mombasa in Kenya. But Kariobangi Sharks often plays them as well in the league, and it might not really count when it comes to thinking about the $30,000 US. That's good money by all standards. So any moment now we'll be going into the final of the 3rd edition of the Sport Pesa Cup 2019. 2nd time in Dar es Salaam. Only once has it been held in Kenya, but the news is that whoever wins here today will host Everton FC in Nairobi. And I am now joined by an Everton legend as well. Stephen Peter will be here to help me go through the 90 minutes of this game. He played for Everton in 2000-2008 when he was on loan from Borussia Dortmund. Made 28 appearances and 2 goals as well. And then he played now on contract from 2008 to 2011, 76 appearances and 7 goals. What a feat. Then decided to move out again to Tottenham, and then he was loaned back to Everton, signed another contract, 2012 to 2016, 71 appearances and 7 goals. Stephen, it's very good to see you here.
It's good to be here, and I'm excited to watch the game.
Yeah, but what do you think about the Sport Pesa Cup itself in terms of giving a chance to youngsters to show their talent?
It's a good initiative from Sport Pesa. Obviously, for the players, it's a big motivation. The winners will face Everton, and obviously the prize money is quite high. So yeah, it's a really good opportunity for the clubs.
Well, the game starts with a very quick free kick for the Bandari side. Pina, you do remember, was an attacking midfielder. Started his career at Ajax Cape Town as well. It's a left-footed swinger coming from Kingatua. And then the very speedy Hassan, well, his left foot defying him. It's not doing exactly what he wanted it to do. It goes out for a goal kick. But there's been some level of good play in this tournament so far, if you've watched some of the games, Peter.
Yeah, I've watched 2 games before the first 2 semi-final games, and I was quite impressed with Harrison, the way he plays, you know, a skillful attacking winger. So yeah, and also...
Is that Harrison Mwendwa?
Yes.
Okay, the number 7.
The number 7, yeah, very exciting player.
I'm sure you could have noticed him just because he's got the same physique as you, I think.
Exactly.
And then plus the fact that he's also running in the midfield and has got very darting runs on the side as well. Bandari would look like a more physical kind of team playing the Kariobangi Sharks, but sometimes you've got to bring in a little bit of physicality in a game if you've got a technical side like Kariobangi Sharks.
Yeah, you definitely need it. I mean, you know, you scare players away as well when you're a bit physical.
You intimidate them.
Exactly. But you know, I think flair. I prefer flair over physicality.
Yep.
Any day.
Oh, here's the chance for Bandari coming out on the right side. This is a good shot coming from Hassan. It's what he hasn't done in this tournament so far. Hassan Abdallah has got very, very big runs, but this time round he also shows that he's got very hard shots as well. But John Oyemba stands in between him and a chance to go onto the score chart. It's a corner. It's going to be for Bandari. William Wadri will take it. A right-footed swinger, touched again by Oyemba, who sends it out. And then Bandari try to compound things on this side, but they lose their footing as well. The one thing that you'll obviously notice about East African football is that it's slower than what you played in the English Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's also got to do with the heat.
Well, Nairobi is different, but here, of course, it's a coastal town, so it's going to be a little bit hot. But if he was playing in Nairobi, this man knows it's 1,800 feet above sea level, and the air is a little bit thinner than this.
Yeah, and you know, it kills the pace of the game as well. But you know, you just have to up the game a bit, and it's difficult for the players if you play.
It is. And thank God this is just a tournament, so you've got more substitutes than usual. You've got 5 substitutes that you can use. Normally you can only bring in 3 of them. This is back into the midfield. Major heads it back. It works better when the ball is on the ground for sure. This is going to be a foul. And isn't it called on by the referee because he noticed that Collins Agade was being shielded off the ball illegally. Hassan Abdallah decides to lump it into the goal area, into the penalty area, but it goes off the field of play. It's going to be for a goal kick for the Bandari side. This is the one that came off the right foot. Pina, what do you think about that shot? Is it always good to take your chances when you've got the opportunity?
Yeah, what I've noticed in the tournament, there's a lot of long-range shooting, and I think that's the first proper one on target as well.
Yeah.
Saved by the goal.
The previous game had too many shots that were not on target.
They were all going astray.
Yeah, but you know when you've got a knockout tournament, then look, if you lose, you're out. You've got to take your chances when you can.
Yeah, you have to though.
This is Kariobangi Sharks trying to string in the passes. Duke Abuya is in jersey number 10. We'll have to watch out for him. And you've got to watch out for Harrison Mwendo as well. Already a favourite with Stephen Pina, the former Arsenal attacking midfielder. And we'll watch out to see whether he can be able to put in another good performance. This is Lemu. It's still with the Bandari side. Oh, the defenders mix themselves a bit here. The goalkeeper was out. The rule is when you're out, you must touch the ball as a goalkeeper, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to make sure you get a ball as a goalkeeper when you go out. Otherwise, it's in the back of.
It's the second time Oyemba is coming out again. This time the ref gets him the advantage because of a foul by Yema Mwana. But he's come out twice in 2 occasions and he hasn't got his hands on the ball. Now that becomes a little bit dangerous and becomes a little bit difficult as well. It's back into the midfield. So Oyemba here didn't go for that ball nicely. Should have some communication with his defenders as well. In instances where you miss the ball, you will be punished if you don't take possession. The Sharks setting it back. Thomas Teka is the one who was doing that, the captain now. And a little attempt to try and get it onto the right side by Harrison Mwendwa. This is Feli Mulumba, the massively big built Congolese in central defense for Bandari. How advisable is it to have a towering big central defender?
Stay away from him. Take him.
The coach will say, go to him, go attack him.
No, you take him all over the pitch. If you know you're quicker than him, you don't want him to be central. Just move him around.
But he's a nice guy. He's got a degree. He's got a diploma in theology as well. So he'll not treat you too badly when you come into his area. But he's a very mean defender as well. Felipe Lobo talking about. He played for Sofapaka before decamping to the Bandari side. It's going to be a throw-in by Nicholas Major. It was bound to be a foul throw. This won't even count. It's not in the field of play.
That's work.
And that's why the coach is asking, what's going on? Don't you want to play? Because it didn't actually go into the field. So he's going to have to do it again. It doesn't happen in the English Premier League.
It does. You see it occasionally.
Occasionally. Like once in 2 seasons or something.
Something like that. But
Steven Pino is being very modest here with the statistics. It's going to be a throw in this one for Bandari. And again, Hassan Abdallah makes himself available to give it to Major. Back to Abdallah. A carving cross, better punch out by the goalkeeper. Bandari still trying to get a shot towards goal. Out to the left side now. And a push to try and cut back. It's not a target coming from King Arthur. Should have brought in a 45. One of the difficult things, especially watching a little bit of the East African game, is the crosses come right on the crossbar. They don't cut back on the 45, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed it also in the first game. I think the guys get excited when they get into the final
Close to
third,
it, yeah.
You just have to calm down a bit and just take your time and pick out the player.
They try to make it something in between a shot towards goal and a cross. I don't know what that's called in English, but we'll find a word for it. Yep, normally it doesn't come in for a 45. Bandari fans making their voices heard at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. Yemba starts it for the Kariobangi Sharks. This is picked up now by Dixon Omondi. He's the left back on the Bandari side. Teka will go for it now. They haven't gotten a chance to play their vintage passing game. Duke Abuya may just initiate that in the midfield. They're trying to get George Abege, the big burly striker from the Kariobangi Sharks side. Wasn't going to get to the end of it. Let's push back into the midfield. Patilo Moto. Oh, there was going to be penalized for that tackle. Quite unnecessary. He realized he was pushing the ball just a little bit too far. I think the referee says, look, I've got it covered. You don't have to remind me. But a very hard tackle coming in from Patilo Moto. He had possession, but he pushes the ball just a little bit too far from himself. And then comes in, starts up on Abdallah Hamis. That would earn you a yellow card straight in the English Premier League.
Yeah, that's a yellow card. On the verge of a red card, that starts up. So,
yeah, on the
bad
verge of a red card. I like that. Another big cross coming from Hassan Abdallah. Again, the excitement in between a shot towards goal and a cross. I normally wouldn't like to talk about the officiating, Stephen, in these matches, but you must have seen some of what you thought should have not been the calls that the referees made.
Yeah, I think the referees just want the game to flow. They don't want to get involved too much. So I think that's
Is that a good thing?
It's a good thing, but sometimes they ease a bit. Like
Yeah, if it denies you the opportunity, then you might look at it differently. I think the offside flag was up here. Now it's going to be a free kick. Bernardo Diambo has got his bigger brother playing for Zesco United in Zambia. One time, both of them passing through Gor Mahia, Kenya's defending Premier League champions. Here is Stephen's favourite, Harrison Wendwa.
He haven't got into the game yet.
He hasn't got into the game. One thing is that when he gets tackled a lot physically, he gets intimidated, and that's the only problem because he's of a little bit of a smaller stature.
I think that's got to do with his body shape.
With his body shape, yeah, he automatically just then falls back into himself. But a very brilliant technical player, I must tell you. We'll see whether he'll be able to come back into this game very strongly. This is going to be a corner for Bandari. They don't have too many men in the box, but the white jerseys have organized themselves in defense. They've left only one man at the front, but everybody's behind the ball, including George Abege. It's going to be taken by Wadri. It comes on the outside, enough men trying to go for it. Headed out by Patilo Moto. And then Abege, he might want to start a counter, but he doesn't have a lot of support. So Bandari making sure that they keep them in their own half. William Wadri plays it back into the midfield. Gets a return ball as well. Oh, it's going to be a little bit too acute here. But Hassan Abdallah, well, was just going to provide some support there. The referee is going to penalize some of these tackles. Otherwise, it might just spiral out of control. And that's where the danger comes in. I think that was a very hard tackle coming off the feet of Tom Teka and into Abdallah. Yeah, that should have been penalized. It's actually Dixon Omondi. two intentions he had there. Get the ball and clear the man as well. Now, that's no longer in football, is it?
That's the old school way.
Old
It's
school
either the ball
football.
or the man. So
Yeah, and
I
if you
think
want to
he took
play,
both out.
if you were hoping that someone would recognize you from the English Premier League, they wouldn't call you just because of that.
I think he'll make it.
You think they're not going to look at that kind of tackle? It might go in a game like this, but if you attempt that in another league, the whistle will go. And you're going to have a lot of statistics that say that you are not a very clean player. And that's what you've got to watch out. You want to play with a clean record as well. Left foot in swinger from King Atwa, right up to the corner. And then the goalkeeper is going for it. Bernardo Diambo, the defender that he is, doesn't head it into the net, although he was in a perfect position. Perfect poise as well. It's a kind of ball that you say, textbook. That should have been a goal, shouldn't it?
That should have been a goal. At least hit the target. It's a big miss.
At least he should have hit the target.
Definitely from that end.
And that's being very modest. Actually, there's no reason why he shouldn't have hit target.
Yeah,
it was easier to hit target than to miss the target.
Exactly.
Bernardo Diambo will have to take that advice about getting these at least to hit the target, then hope for a rebound. Oh well, I tell you, the Sharks are mixing themselves up a bit. Incidentally, I'll tell you something, Stephen. Bandari comes from Mombasa, where the Indian Ocean is. And you know what? There are sharks in that ocean as well. Wow. So do you think the Sharks will be able to swim this game through in this Bandari harbour?
Let's hope for them if they are really Sharks.
The Shark is supposed to be very tough in attack. And stealthily should be able to do its business. These two coaches, knowing that this is more than just a Kenyan Premier League match, it is a Kenyan final of the third edition of the Sport Pesa Cup in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. The kind of heat being experienced here would be in favor of Bandari, but the Sharks will nevertheless try to swim the waters. This is Nixon Omondi playing it back to Tom Taker in defense. Then out on the right side, Wadri equally comes in. This is Kata, I beg your pardon, who tried to pick up that ball and causes a foul in the process. Again, another of what should be at least a yellow card offense here. Sambo is the man who was going into it. A shot towards goal for Farouk Shikalo. Will not trouble him at all. Abege. With his height, he manages to get a touch on that ball. Major delays a little bit in taking that ball away. The referee waves on, play on. Duke Abuya doesn't pull the trigger on time. Here is his own Mwendwa. Too much of a lift on that ball. He knows the technical application of the finish was not the kind that would get you a goal. He lifted it just a little bit too much. Tried to curve it as well.
Big opportunity.
Duke Abuya, I think, was trying to see where they can go for a shot and then looking for whether Abenge would be best placed. But Mwendwa had so many options. Closest to this side, or just passing it again to Abenge, who was opening up. Does the ball sometimes just defy the strikers? I mean, that should have been at least on target.
That's what I said. When you get into the final third, you've worked so hard to get in that position. Just be calm and.
Did you ever get in a situation where you think the ball was unfair to you? You wanted it to go this side, but it went this side. Did you ever?
A few times in my days.
What does it make you feel like when that happens?
Oh, it's a bad feeling.
And the fans obviously look at you and wonder where they got you from.
Exactly.
Oh, I tell you, the ball develops its own mind sometimes. Here is Wadri looking for a tearing through ball to Hassan Abdallah. It doesn't work out that way, stopped by Nixon. Patila Omoto into the midfield. Duke Abuya. Well, he's looking for Harrison Mwendwa here. This is where the dancing will start from. You better be a good dancer if you're in defense when Harrison Mwendwa is on the offense. Well, this one pumped right into the goal area. Bege will rush for it. Goalkeeper will have the advantage, of course. If you touch him, it's going to be a free kick, and Abege knows it. Farouk Shikalo knows it as well. It's been given out for a free kick for the Bandari side. The defender, of course, Fede Mulomba, knowing that he was in a very precarious situation, just covers the goal area, lets the goalkeeper go out to pick up the ball. Which was the hardest match you ever played, if you remember, Steven?
Against Mexico in the World Cup, the opening game.
Yes.
As a player, I was so nervous.
Why were you nervous?
first World Cup game on African soil, you know.
That's what it said.
Came with a lot of pressure.
It did. It did. It did for us as journalists as well. We were there as well, and we had our own challenges as well. But you did well. It's just that the South African fans then decided to support Cameroon after you didn't go too far, did you?
Actually, it was Ghana.
I saw in Ghana. They decided to support Ghana now. Interesting times for African football. But it's on the up at the moment, you would say, would you?
Yeah, it is. A lot of young players coming through.
Well, such tournaments as the Sport Pesa Cup would give opportunities as well to young players to be noticed. Now going down on the right side, the younger side is the Kariobangi Sharks. The cross again is a deep one. Abege doesn't get to it. This is Hassan Abdallah. He's got space if he wants to move, but he decides to take a big shot up front, lumping it forward. It's never worked so well when you lump it forward. Thomas Teka playing it into the midfield. This is Shafan Oyugi. And then they're trying to get Duke, who has moved onto the left side now. So Harrison will be out on the right side. Can't get to this one. Chasing it just a little bit too far. First of all, he was afraid of getting into the offside position, so he stayed just a little bit too long. And he doesn't get onto that one. So it's moved on to the right side. We saw him switch sides so often when they played Bao FC. Looking for where he would best be able to play the game. This is Bernardo Diambo for Bandari. Well, it's just 18 minutes that have been played. It looks like they've played it longer than 18 minutes.
I was quite surprised as well. I thought
it should have been like 35 minutes now. That just tells you it's a very hard game mentally as well. What happens in football as well is that you test each other, both for the physique, both for the technical play as well, but even for the mental, you know, comfort in the game. And a slight loss of concentration in the game can be disastrous. The earlier stages and the last few minutes of the game have been said to be the time when players suddenly do lose concentration. And goals have been scored in those moments as well. This is a foul that has been noticed by the referee. Hassan Abdallah brought down just before that ball was being tossed into the penalty area, and a yellow card has been dished out as well to Nick Seromodi. He's got to watch out. He was going a little bit too hard earlier on as well. They're called professional fouls, aren't they? The defenders will just take you out before the through ball comes in.
Yeah, but I think the striker wasn't going anywhere. There was two defenders on him, and I think it's just a silly foul.
They didn't need to commit it.
Yeah. And
well, here it is again. There, it's just a push down there. He wasn't even going to get to possession at all.
Might cost his team if they score, yeah.
Bandari will have to show us what they have for the set-piece positions if they've been training for it. There's four of them huddling behind the ball. That just means that they have options. But Kingatwa looks to be like the better of the options. He's in Josie tail and he packs a real hard shot, and he's the one who's adjusting his boot as well. So they'll organize the defense. But I think the man who wants to pull the trigger is Kingatwa in Jersey 10. He's a left-footed midfielder. A very, very hard shot he did. Yes, he's the one who releases it. Just goes inches wide. Just in deep at the right time. That's a very direct shot as well.
Yeah, he just went for power. Try and get it in the top corner. It was close as well.
Yeah, that's a scream that says I could have done it better. Oyemba pulls himself up to pick up what would have been a little bit of a mistake in the goal area. And then trying to punch out Abege, who crosses it. Here is the attack getting in there, but not on time. This is Kingatwa trying to get that ball into the net, but this time round, it's just that Vincent Wasambo wasn't fast enough for that touch. I think Stephen was hoping that that would have been Harrison Mwendwa in there, but he wasn't. They've got an average height as well, the Kariobangi Shark side. And they've got an average age as well. 24, 25 is the average in this team. And they look all alike in terms of the height, so occasionally you don't know exactly who's going in for the kill. This is Harrison though, sidestepping this, chipping it, but only to the goalkeeper. Wadri wants to go for a fast break here, for a counter-attack, but he will need support if he gets himself into that corner. Manages to cross it, but only into the hands of the goalkeeper, Mr. Oyemba. So you would you think that they should build it up from the midfield, from their defense into the midfield, other than lumping the balls forward? What would be the best solution here?
Obviously, for them, I think that's their strength. They like to play on a counter-attack, so they've got Wadri that will chase anything down. So I think if that's the way you play your game, I don't see them building up from the back.
They've got Wadri on the left side and they've got Hassan Abdallah on the right side, and all of them are very fast wingers. But for the Kariobangi Sharks, they like to build it in the midfield. They've got very good touches on the ball every time, and that's what they like to use as their strength. Playing it back to try and pull out the midfielders. Patilao Moto, and then Harrison Mwendwa brings it back into the midfield. He's got space as well, he leaves it behind. Trying to get a beggar, the flag is up for offside. Very marginal. Is it a good idea to have tried to go in that way?
I think this tag.
He was, they just, well, it's just very marginal. He just leaves one step before that ball is taken, and that's why that flag is up for offside.
I think the timing of his run, or maybe the passer should have released it quicker.
Yeah, two things happen in these instances. Either you're released just a little bit earlier, or the timing of the pass. This one, they would have been caught off guard, with Oyemba then springing up to pick it up. Oyemba looking very confident. He's had a lot of balls going towards his side, so we might say that he's got his reflexes 100%. Wadri is troubling him enough. Talking about the Kariobangi Sharks goalkeeper, compared to the goalkeeper on the other side, the Sharks goalkeeper has been working most of the time.
He's been busy, and he doesn't look so confident. He's been flapping a few times, coming out, losing the ball.
When you've got hard shots coming to you, it messes up a little bit of your composure. Kata pushes it to Wadri, who's looking for a chance to go for a shot. Just stopped because there was another defender coming up from behind him. Forces him to hurriedly take a shot. It's not going to work out that way, Stephen.
Poor decision. He should have played his teammate in, and it.
Well, that would probably have been a better decision that time, but Oyemba didn't get onto that ball. His other shots didn't do much to help the Bandari side. Neither did it dent the Sharks side in what they were doing. This game looking almost deadlocked now. It looks like we need new ideas into it.
Yeah, I
Someone
think
needs to bring some new life.
I think if the Sharks just start playing the ball forward quickly with a better tempo, I think they can get something out of it.
That's the way they always play their game, but it looks like they are a little bit afraid of the counter-attack that Bandari is playing as well. So they're limiting those runs up front.
I think it's like a boxing match where you first 20 minutes you're just checking your
You're just
opponents out.
sparring.
Yeah, you're just seeing
You're just
if we can go for the punch.
You're just throwing some of those punches that never get there, you know, just to test whether it will get there or not. And then ultimately looking for where you're going to land the points as well. But Sharks can play their own game, only that they're losing confidence here. The goalkeeper Paris is back. And Kingatua is trying to look for a chance to shoot. They don't take the chance that comes to them. Oyemba now knows he's going to have to be very confident in goal. Well, that's a poor decision as well by the defenders, and an equally poor decision by the strikers. They don't latch onto it quickly enough. You need predatory strikers up front that can turn anything into a goal.
I think the Sharks, they're the cause of their own problem. They want to overplay at the back, and they're losing possession in a dangerous position.
And now they've also occasioned injury on their goalkeeper. There it is again. They try to play the ball back, but the defender left it behind. Wadri plays it to Hassan, but Hassan doesn't go on the first touch either. He decides to control. He should have gone on the first touch.
And that's what I was saying, where you have to be composed when you're in the final. I think it was a poor ball from Wadri as well. He could have just slide him in, roll it on the floor.
Wadri is the striker up front. He's already scored 2 goals for Bandari. Yema Mwana is the other striker up front. And he's getting very good feed from the sides. He needs to now get the composure to be able to strike confidently. not sure if we've gone into a water break or it's just the players taking advantage of the fact that the Kariobangi Sharks goalkeeper is down on the ground. But this tournament has also seen water breaks.
Yeah, definitely. I think the players need it with a hit.
With a hit. Well, we need it as well. But I do remember as well in Atlanta, I think it was in the World Cup as well, there was, because of the summer heat, there was water breaks because you need to rehydrate. It's just a little bit too hot. This is something about the muscles as well when it's too hot.
Yeah, you can pull a muscle if you're dehydrated, so you need to stay hydrated.
Mr. Ayemba is back on his feet. And that means we are back into good times and into football again. It's going to be bounce for the Sharks, who will have to send it back to the Bandari side in a sportsmanship gesture and to start it. But overall, if you were to comment on the game at the moment, Stephen, what would you say? How has it been played?
I think it's quite a boring game, to be honest. There's not a lot happening. I think the Sharks are causing their own problems in giving the ball away, and it's going to be a game of who scores first and who makes the worst mistakes.
So whoever loses concentration makes a poor judgment will be penalized. So you're saying they'll be punished if they lose concentration. But obviously you're used to the very fast pace of the English Premier League as well. It is a chance again. Yema Mwana. He's turning and tossing, but he's not touching the ball. He should have been touching the ball when he's doing all that. Hassan Abdallah does a better one to try and shoot towards goal. The ultimate clearance comes from Nixon, sends it up front to Harrison Mwendwa. He's got good ball control. Sends it into the midfield to Abege. Looks for support. He finds it on the right side. Michael Bodo then pushes it just slightly forward to his captain. Gets it back to him. So we haven't seen the vintage Kariobangi Sharks play, the passing game that they played in the opening matches, but especially the very first match. Bodo back into the midfield. This is Wasambo. We're trying to hit a big up front. Kata. Well, interestingly, that left back, Kata, once played in a team that his father was coaching as well.
That would have been good to have your father as your coach.
Yeah, but it turned out very badly because when his father was sacking players who were ineffective, he sacked him as well.
Oh, wow. Father love.
And then his father moved on to another club.
That's father love. You have to be tough on your kids.
Absolutely. So his father moved back home to Uganda, and then he came back into the Kenyan Premier League, and he's coaching another team now in Western Kenya. But Nkata, the son, then joined this club where his father had also come from. Yeah, it's a family affair sometimes in these football cycles. And of course, with the Kenyan League having been on television, it's attracted a good number of foreigners from around East Africa, mostly from the Ugandan side, and providing some good competition to the local players as well. The Kenyan League allowing up to 5 foreigners, but only up to 3 can play in any match. That's the way it is. It's quite different from what you have in Tanzania, where they allow 9.
Yeah, I think that's not good for the league. If you have a lot of foreigners in the team, you need to. You're blocking the development of the local players.
Okay, so it doesn't give much of a chance to local players to develop talent. Here is Abege. Doesn't go for a shot. But others have also argued, Stephen, that if you want to win club cup competitions, then you need quality players.
You need quality players, and where do you get them? You have to go outside
and buy them.
Spend.
So just depending on what your what you want as your achievements, what your motives are, you'll have to buy into any of the 2 arguments. This is back into the midfield. Kariobangi Sharks now have a little bit of an upper hand in the midfield. They're beginning to control it a bit. This is Major. Plays to safety first, out of the field of play for a corner. It's going to be for Kariobangi Sharks. Yeah, obviously the heat will bog them down as well, but if you're playing on the left side of defense, on the right side of defense for either side, you've got a little bit of a shade coming from the canopy on the stadium. But if you're right in the middle, you're going to run in the sun and in the heat as well. A curve, that is a big one going on to the other side of the field, but it's not yet out. Again, a massively big one that gets out of the penalty area. Spatila Moto returns it again. That would be offside. It's just amazing that you can get into the offside position from 3 different balls that you possess.
Yeah, and the crosses as well, like you said, two big crosses missing the targets. I don't know if the grass is too long or the players are just a bit tired.
No, I was going to ask you as well, do players ever realize that they put so much energy on that ball that no one's going to touch it, it's going to go to the other side?
Yeah, sometimes you do. You want to go for power and then you overheat it, and it just goes to the other side of the field.
It's good to tap into an attacking midfielder's mind to know that sometimes you think you've not put in that much power, but you end up sending the ball too far off. Felipe Lumumba is telling them, come on guys, let's up the game a bit. We're playing the 34th minute of this game. It's a final of the Sport Pesa Cup. The 3rd edition of it coming to you from the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. And I am in the commentary position with an Everton legend, Stephen Pina, who played for that team, who are the founder members of the FA Premier League. That's in 1992. And he made himself felt in that club as well. Tell me something, Stephen. You were loaned out. You were often loaned back to Everton.
Yeah, it's...
What was the thinking there? Has someone ever explained it to you?
No, the reason why I was loaned back is because I was at Spurs and I just got...
But you just came from Everton?
Yeah, I was injured time at Spurs, so I needed to recover, and I wanted to play games, so I asked the club if I could be loaned back to Everton.
So you went to Spurs and you're loaned back to the club that had actually released you?
They told me to.
And then Spurs. They ended up again signing you?
They brought me back, yeah.
I think the HR manager really did like you. They rehired you several times.
Yeah, that's. I think it's just a good thing.
Yeah, I would agree to you. If anyone hires you twice, loans you to another company who's a competitor, and still, rehires you, they really like your work as well. Obviously, it must have been different from what you did at Borussia. That's where you came from first.
Yeah, I moved from Dortmund to Everton on loan as well.
And then you are contracted now.
And then I got a contract after a few months. So I think the loan system was quite good to me.
You made 42 appearances on loan and scoring 6 goals. That's on all the sides. Now, that's my counting. You don't have to remember them all. But you made 6 goals from 42 appearances when you played on loan.
Oh, I think my last loan back from to Everton, yes. From January to June, I scored 4 goals. So that's the one I remember.
What a journey. And now you're back in here in Africa as well, watching a final of the Sport Pesa Cup, a tournament that allows young players to showcase their talent here. It's gone out to the right side to Harrison Mwendwa. It's a 3-on-3 situation. Attempts to get a big one to Abege, who's already waylaid the goalkeeper, who's come out to play as the last man. He's off his line at the moment. Abege gets it out here. They're looking to try and beat the goalkeeper. Headed out by Nkata. That would arguably be the most interesting moment of this game so far on this side, Stephen.
They've got the supporters on their feet.
They got them at least to think about it and to talk about it. Another left foot cross. Everybody caught flat foot on that one. Goes out for a goal kick. Well, this one they should have capitalized on it for sure. They should have, because they managed to get the goalkeeper off his line. He knows that once he's following this, he can't stop. It will be more dangerous for him to stop than to follow. And then the ultimate curve that was coming from Wasambo doesn't work out for the very diminutive Harrison Mwendwa. He couldn't get to it to head it, but Abege managing to get it away from the goalkeeper. Faruk Shikalo committing himself and ultimately giving up the chase. We've got 2 players on the ground on the Bandari side. Farouk previously played for Tusker FC. So Wadri is feeling a little bit of a pinch here. And as well, his teammate is on the ground. It's only the 36th minute of the game. We're playing the 37th now, but Just how much of energy do you have left at a time like this in a game if you're playing in the English Premier League?
You know, you look up to the scoreboard and you see the time and you think, still have 6 to 7 minutes to go. You just want to get into the dressing room.
And landing awkwardly, Hassan Abdallah, it knocks off a little bit of the oxygen in your system, making you slower and sometimes even unable to move until you recover from it. But this is that time as well when people do lose concentration.
Yeah, I think you know, with the heat being so hard on the players, I think he just needed a break there.
Needed a break as well.
A break. Sneak off.
Occasionally players just sit down so that they can get a little rest here. The fans don't like it because they want to see goals. We haven't seen any in this game so far. We're still waiting to see whether it will also end in regular time, because we've seen the third and fourth place playoff end up in penalties. The third time in this competition that we were seeing a penalty shootout. But I have to inform you as well that should this one end at 0-0 in regular time, it will go to extra time before it goes to penalties. This is easily taken away from Hassan Abdallah. Nixon chasing it. I think it's already rolled off the field of play. All right, it's going to be a throw-in that will be given to the Bandari side. King Arthur today getting a first-team play. That's a little bit over-ambitious from Collins Agade, the midfielder. Should have been going for a more accurate shot, or at least pass it. You know, there wasn't any reason why he should hurry his shot. Sometimes the game just doesn't open up when you're playing in the midfield, and they are relying on you as an attacking midfielder to distribute the balls.
Yeah, I think you just have to try and find that this pocket of space to come in and get involved in the game. To be fair, Bandari's game plan has been working quite well. They're on the front foot most of the time.
Sambo cuts this one, trying to get it into the penalty area. It's cut off by Major. It's cut off by Bernardo Diambo, I beg your pardon. And I think Addison Mwendo was trying to go to it. You see him just going round behind the defenders. But he's always approaching it from the other side, which is the blind side. This is going to be a corner for Kariobangi Sharks. 3 corners in this first half of the game. And 2 for Bandari. They're not committing too many men up front. Just the tall ones. They have more remaining in the midfield. Goalkeeper has a touch on it. And then picked up with another cross coming onto the left side to Patila Omoto, playing it with Harrison Mwendo. A quick left one. Too many blue stockings to send it out at the front. Hassan Abdallah doesn't get in through that side. Wadri is chasing for it. This will be offside, says the referee. Very close one here. We'll have a chance to see it again if we can. And know whether Duke Abuya was in the offside. Well, there's Harrison Mwendo already here out.
He's onside.
But Duke is
onside.
Yeah, he's put onside by the defender.
Onside. Good vision. The play from number 10.
Well, the only thing is you and I get a chance to see it twice. The referee says it only once.
I think the linesman was quite. You have to be with the last
right
man,
there
and
the last
I think he was a bit further up the line.
We'll blame it on the heat. But yes, one that Steven Pinar also thinks that should have been let to play. And a good number of fans as well decided that that was not offside. But we've seen a couple of decisions that a lot of people did not agree with in the tournament. Bernardo Diambo pushes it back into the midfield. Again, too much energy on what should have just been a simple pass. Wasambo gets it back. He's trying to play to Duke Abuya. A hard one that Duke doesn't control. Goes out to the goalkeeper, Mr. Farouk Shikalo. 3.5 minutes in regular time remaining. What do you make of this game?
It's like I said, it's like a boxing match. I think the first half, hopefully we'll see second half, both teams coming out and going for the kill.
The coaches will obviously be giving instructions at halftime. Would you tell Kariobangi Sharks to adopt their usual passing game with speed to counter what the Bandari side is doing?
If I was the coach, I'll just say to them, listen, football match is there's two halves, so our first half wasn't good. Forget about the first half. Let's go out there and
Let's now play the game.
go
Here
out
is Asad Abdallah as well, but he takes aside the top netting. Very hard shot that he gives it, but not very well calculated. So what would you tell the Bandari side as well?
just keep doing what you guys are doing. Play on the front foot, force them into mistakes, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity.
But they say if you do the same thing all the time, you can't expect different results. Just get the same results again.
I think what they're doing, you can see from the previous game how Bandari is playing. They're more on the front foot. They're not allowing the Sharks to build up play. So, you know, when you go out, you just need one opportunity to win the game, and that's what I will be hoping on.
Yeah, that's the opportunity that both sides have been looking for. Here comes Harrison Wendwa now, trying to create the opportunity, but it doesn't work out for him. It's out on the right side. Wasambo makes it go deep. Abege doesn't get to it here as Feli Mulumba was there to counter it. Nixon plays it to Duke Abuya. The return ball doesn't come to Duke, and then again, it's a chip that sends it onto the right side. There's going to be nothing being given out for that one. Kata will have been deemed to have won it fair and square. Wadri, well, manages to waylay the defenders, including Michael Bodo as well. And Wadri tries to bring it right behind the defenders, trying to get Yema Mwana. But Yema should have made himself available as well, not to wait that deep. But Wadri has been doing a lot for these sides. Got 2 goals as well that got the team into the finals. But Yema as well should try and make himself available. There's 5 white jerseys converging in there. It's not going to cross itself into a good place for a shot.
It's a difficult one for a striker where you have 4 players around you to get into that space. It's just a tough one.
Well, should have made himself available for a 1-2 before, you know, waiting to be joined by somebody else. There's no way they were going to get into that one. He was waiting for it a little bit too far off. And the quick cut-off sent it out of the field of play. But Wadri has picked up 2 man-of-the-match performances at the Sport Pesa Cup. He probably will be looking to get another one. In this match for the Bandari side. He scored a penalty in the 68th minute when he played Singida in the opening match for Bandari. This one again, not a good shot taken by the Kariobangi Sharks. They're misfiring at the moment. Wadri scored another goal as well, the first one, when Bandari beat Simba 2 goals to 1. So he's also gunning for the Golden Boot. 2 minutes of added time will be played in this first half, and hoping that things will change a bit so we can see more flowing football from the 2 sides, and hopefully some goals as well. A good game must have goals. Michael Bodo chips it forward. Feli Mulumba intercepts it. Kata laying it back into the midfield. Looking for Wadri. This is cleared out for a throw-in. It's going to be for the Bandari side. Bernard Mwalala, former international, and then played his football as well here with a Tanzanian club, and now took up coaching roles. Finally with the Bandari side, bringing them to one of the best finishes so far that they've had in the 2nd position in the 2018 season of the Sport Pesa Kenyan Premier League. Now he's been tasked with a bigger responsibility. He got into the quarterfinals, into the semi-finals. Can he also get the finals? Wow, this is a good pick from the Bandari side, but just a rush to shoot coming off King Atua. As a midfielder and as an attacking midfielder, shouldn't he have moved a couple of paces that he had in the game, Stephen?
Definitely, like I said earlier, what I've noticed is players taking long-range shots. You've got space, just attack the space and get into the final third.
Closer to the target.
Exactly.
And then shoot from near. I guess sometimes when the frustration is that you're not getting very close there, then you start shooting from out there as well. So there's another one that was coming from the right side by Georgia Bege. Bege had beaten Parado Diabo, gotten it onto the left foot. He did the same when he scored the one goal that added to their being in the final, but this time around it doesn't work for them. The whistle has gone for half-time at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. And they say football is a game of two halves. The first half ends in a 0-0 draw. Big question is, who will change how it's going to be played in the second half? And will it be the K-Sharks? Will it be Bandari who will run away with it? All those questions will probably be answered in the second half. From the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam, Kariobangi Sharks 0, Bandari 0 at halftime. Well, the first half has ended, and you can't quite say that there was anything to write home about. It really was uneventful, save for the few occasions in which we thought something else should have been done. Stephen Pinar is here with me to go through the analysis. This is what it says in statistics: 60% ball possession of Sharks, but what they've done with it is they've had only 5 shots, and only 1 of them was on target. On the other side, Bandari has had 7, 3 of them on target. Is this the true story of this game?
It is, like you said, if you look at the ball possession, the Sharks played in their own half most of the time, and Bandari, they've got more shots on goal because they were playing on the front.
They're the more adventurous of the side with the little position they had.
I think it's because they were pressing high and trying to force them into mistakes in the third position.
Is that a good attack that they use there?
It's a good attack because you've got a solid defense, so if you want to win the game, you have to make sure you force your opponents into mistakes.
So this is the early moments of this game, and the blunders that were made by the Sharks defenses, and a shot coming from Hassan Abdallah. That's the one you say, long-range shots must be on target to merit their place in a game.
I think this is one of the only shots that I've seen actually went on target from long range, and a good save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Hassan Abdallah, I think just noticing, he's got a very good pace, the young man, and he's also got a very hard shot, and I think he tried to get the better of the goalkeeper Oyemba with it. It didn't work out. He's been trying that. We've seen that a lot from the Bandari side as well, but Oyemba ultimately settled down into his position as a goalkeeper. He looked a little bit shaky earlier on, didn't he?
Yeah, he came out, slept a few.
This is one of those instances. He didn't touch the ball this time round.
He's in no man's land. Where's he going? You just stay on your line, your defender's there, let him deal with it.
He was in no man's land. You know, there's a place between Kenya and Uganda that is called no man's land. So there, no laws work as well. Second time again, Oyemba just came out, didn't touch the ball, and Abege just didn't flip it accurately towards the other side. And it could have been dangerous for the side, couldn't it?
Yeah, like, you know, sometimes you just need a keeper that commands his 18 area. And I think the first few minutes he was quite nervous.
He was nervous. You've got to tell me something about how best you can be able to handle these kind of situations where you get the ball in a good vantage position. It's an acute angle, yes, but surely, where is that one going?
Like you
should have cut it back?
Cut it back, be composed, look up. You're in a good area. It took a lot of hard work to get in.
You need to find out exactly who else is there. But a glancing header coming from the defender, Bernardo Diambo, as well in a very acute angle, but he got possession. He just needs to glance it down.
Now that I see it back, I think it's quite a difficult one.
It was, now that you look at it again.
Difficult one.
This is a different one, though.
That's the one now where I said you should have hit the target.
No, that one went over. But now this header you think is also a very acute angle.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the shot by King Atua? And one of those times that Bandari was firing.
Yeah, they were on the front foot, causing the Sharks all sorts of problems, and it was quite unfortunate not to hit the target as well.
John Oyemba, the goalkeeper, again just managing to get onto that one. A defense by the a blunder by the defense again. But then they hurry to take the shots again from range. There's Wadri on this side. There's Yema who's also coming in there. Should he have tried to get somebody who's closer there?
That's
be able to move closer.
That's what I said earlier. When you just have to be composed. They've done all the hard work, putting them under pressure. Just be relaxed. Throw yourself with cold water in the seat.
Twice they made the blunder, the defenders. Twice the Bandari side did not take advantage of it. This one was easily just given to them as a present.
Yeah, this is been the script of the first half. The Sharks causing their own problems. That's what I was saying, where hardly just roll it in. That's a bad pass from him. Could have.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of animal documentaries, and also the sharks occasionally cause their own problems even in the waters. If one shark is bleeding for any reason, they'll tear it apart. Is that the story you're telling me about what's going on in here? When they make one blunder, they really all try to go and rectify it, and it turns out into a bigger blunder.
Yeah, it's been mistake after mistake after mistake. No wonder they can't come out of their own third.
Well, that's the story as told by Steven Pienaar, the former attacking midfielder of Everton FC. But then again on this other side, if then there are mistakes that are being made by the Sharks, why didn't the Bandari side capitalize on them? On this other side, the Sharks were attacking, and Mwendwa is part of that attack. It's a passing that is not accurate when you come up to the final third. This time round, the goalkeeper is out. I think the mistake was by the goalkeeper here. They managed to at least get the passing right, but then that final cross into the box is letting them down.
The Sharks don't push up quickly. There was only two players against, I think, six players from Bandari in the final third. If you want to score, you need numbers in the box, and they definitely didn't have any numbers in the box compared to Bandari's defense.
Very, very surprising. Taking into account the way the Sharks play, they're usually very fast on attack. But this time around, I think they're playing very reservedly and staying back in their midfield because they don't want that counter-attack that is coming from the Bandari side, which is always catching them off guard. The shots are coming in, they're hard, they're just not on time.
I think what I said earlier is the way Bandari set up for the first half, they're putting them under pressure, they want to win the ball back as high as possible, and that's why the Sharks can't get out.
Yeah, they've got to stay in the midfield and defense, and they're not bringing in the numbers when they have the ball. Wadri has been able to get the better of the defenders very many times. He took it right down, but that cross should have come back into the other people who were available for it, other than try and get it into the box. Although they got a corner out of it, it could have worked better if they availed themselves further for getting onto the pass, but they didn't.
He's done all the hard work, winning the ball back on the halfway line and racing down. Just the final pass is lacking.
That final pass has been a problem to the Shark side as well. Abega this time round did get the better of Bernardo Diabo. He went onto his left foot. He scored in a similar, coming from a similar situation, but it doesn't just work out for him this time round. But he's really a good complementary striker to William Wadri as well. And pulling the defender out onto the left side leaves us with memories of what he did when they played Young Africans and he scored the second goal. But it doesn't work out for him this time round. The scoreline still at halftime is 0-0. We've got to look at the team sheet and see whether or not they need to make any changes in this game. Would you change anything if you're the coach on any of the sides in the game at the moment?
Yeah, I'll definitely change the way the Sharks have played.
Okay, we'll be looking at the stats. Okay. Welcome back to the second half of the final game of the SportPesa Super Cup. Kariobangi Sharks playing Bandari in an all-Kenyan final. Earlier on, we had a third-place playoff between two Tanzanian sides, Simba FC and Mbao FC, in which then the Simba FC side ran away with it, having scored all their 5 penalties, with Mbao missing 1 penalty, meaning that even if they had put in the second one, they would have ended up with only 4 goals, and so would not have taken the bigger prize. But the biggest of them all will be the one that will be given to the winners of this final. It's a 3rd edition of the SportPesa Cup, and Bandari FC has important funds here at the stadium to be able to help them go through it. We ended the first half on a 0-0 stalemate, and looking at how we're going to go into the final as well. In the semi-final, Bandari beat Simba by 2 goals to 1. Kariobangi Sharks, of course, got the better of Bauer FC in the penalty shootout. That has propelled them into the finals today. William Wadri and Lugogo were the scorers of the Bandari side. But Wilberforce Lugogo has been left to the bench today for the Bandari side. What we'll be looking at in this second half is what changes have been made by the coaches, and whether or not they needed to make the changes as well. So Bandari beating Singida 1-0, and then beating Simba 2 goals to 1. Kariobangi Sharks beating Young Africans 2-1, and then also getting the better of Bao by 6-5 aggregate on penalties. Not a very easy walk into the finals then. Bandari has had a better and cleaner walk into the finals. And then we are looking for just who's going to take the win outrightly. The goalkeeper that forced to pull himself to the maximum by Abege forces Farouk Shikalo to stretch out, send this one off the field. But it was goal bound for sure. And for once, the long-range shots looking like they were going to be very good for this game, especially for Bandari. I think Farouk Shikalo had it covered, but he knew it was also bouncing. The safest is to push it out, not to try and grab it. It goes out for a corner. It's going to be for Bandari. Now they push literally every man into the box here. Cut out again for another corner by Duke Abuya. It's going to be for Sharks, I beg your pardon. And well, Duke Abuya looked like he was following that one, but I think it had already been tracked by the defenders. So they've got 6 men in there. Carves again into the goal area, picked up by Farouk Shikalo. He just wants to hit the counter-attacker, and Yema Mwana is running for it. Needs to control it. He doesn't get to it. And he's having a little bit of difficult time challenging Tom Taker. Foul has been given to Tom Taker as well. And a free kick. So Yema Mwana, one of the strikers on the Bandari side. Stephen Pina, the former attacking midfielder of Everton FC, who will be playing the winner of this final in Kenya, is my co-commentator today. Harrison Mwendwa tries to bring in the crosser. It's been dealt with by Nicholas Major. And I was going to ask Piana what he thinks is going to be played like in the second half. The advice that he would give to these sides, is it opening up a little bit better than what we saw in the first half?
Yeah, you can see the Sharks came out second half more on the front foot. They're actually playing further up the pitch, so they're creating opportunities, and I think this is a good sign. Hopefully the game will open up and it will look like a final.
So they're stepping up to the plate then, in what is looking more like a final now. Duke Abuya with another shot, this time deflected too far off from the penalty box. And then again, they're trying to hit Yemamwana up front. Goalkeeper is already off his line. But this is nice ball control that will also come out from Geoffrey Lemu, also known as Geoffrey Shiveka. Out on the left side. Now looking for a Bege. But they're not working it with a lot of speed, only that they're building it, at least outside of the goal area. Wadri trying to take this one away. Will it be enough for a counter-attack? Well, Yemar is open on the left side. It doesn't get to him, but a second chance from Hassan Abdallah, who's gotten himself in the box, does his composure right, but he bangs it on the defenders. Pushes himself just a little bit too far. Didn't chip it up for Yemamwana. Oh, you compliment him for the speed. But Yemamwana also went just a little bit too deep to get that ball away from Hassan Abdallah. Should have opened up slightly in a better position. What do you think, Stephen?
I think he should have taken the shot when he got in behind the defender, but unfortunately I think he took too many touches and the opportunity went.
Yeah, too many touches allows for too many feet to also come into the defense. But first time the Bandari is also trying to get a shot to us goal. 2 times the Kariobangi Sharks have already managed to get into the box here. Another shot that tries to send him in. Oh, Shikalo! He's dropped it with the defenders with the strikers very close by. This will be a foul right in front of the goalkeeper. Farouk Shikalo has been a little bit unsteady in holding onto those balls. But again, the forwards of Bandari should know that they should capitalize on this one, Stephen.
Yeah, you know, if you do get opportunity, you have to make sure you take it. But unfortunately, the guys, they've been wasteful.
There's a left cross coming from King Atua. And now at the time when you expect it to be headed into the goal area, Hassan just manages to cut it back looking for a 45. Masambo. And then Fele Mulumba just sends it forward. Wadri playing out on the right side. He knows that Hassan has got the speed. He's got the power as well. Second time that he takes the top netting. But he must have taken a deflection this time round. It's going to be a corner. But there's going to be a substitution. They're bringing in Darius Msaga in jersey 11. And David Kingatua will be rested. I don't know what has happened to David Kingatua. You would have expected him to actually have a very good game in the midfield. I don't even...
I think he went down injured.
Oh, he must have been injured then. And, yeah, he's out of the field of play. I think some medics are going to be approaching him to find out what is the problem. Harrison Wendwa, together with Duke Abuya. There is 4 defenders, and they'll be waiting for support to come from behind in the white shirts. Ultimately, it does. So Sharks now building it up. Duke pushing it back into the midfield. And opting to start it from the right side with Michael Bodo. Being challenged by the man who's got the freshest legs on the field, Darius Msaga. The goalkeeper Oyemba sends it off the field of play for a throw-in. It's for Bandari. Still trying to look at that counter-attack situation that has not worked the way they would like it to. Chimaluya says that the throw-in should be taken from behind here. Players often take a couple of steps away from where the ball actually should be, and it's almost looked like it's allowable in a game of football. Move just slightly up, you know, 2-3 steps up.
It is. I think you just sneak a few yards further up the pitch. It's normal. I think everyone does it, not only in the top leagues, also in amateur football.
It has happened. Yanis Msaga, the newest substitute, evading his marker, but then he bangs his intended shot on a defender. It's massively big blow of a whistle. I'm wondering why. Is it a foul? It should be a foul then.
Offside.
It can't be. There is Feli Mulumba there. It cannot be. It's out. The Bega tried to get himself on target here, but he didn't. Here is Dukabuya approaching it from the left side. He knows that if he cuts diagonally in front of the defenders, they can't touch him, otherwise it will be a foul. And so he brings it back to Patila Omota. Looking for wing pace here. Michael Bodo very directly towards goal. Spoils the entire intent of mounting an attack here. That would be considered wasteful as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a poor cross. You've got all the space and all the time. Why you just be composed and pick someone out? There's no one. You're not under pressure.
But he's a defender. They say the defenders just push the ball in there.
I think he got nervous when he got out of his zone.
He wasn't too confident about being a striker. Hassan Abdallah scraps his way through here and then chips it back. This time round, Yemabwana doesn't turn on time to be able to put his foot on the ball. And I said it before that Yema is turning and tossing all the time, but he's not taking the ball permanently on his feet. So again, a cross that came from Abdallah is not dealt with in the best way. Abege to Duke Abuya. And we're seeing Duke Abuya moving in a lot more at the front. Abege bangs it onto Major for a corner for Bandari, for Kariobangi Sharks. In front of goal, the Bandari side is looking much better than the K-Shark side, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. I'm just noticing the Sharks keeping 4 or 5 players behind the ball, and it's a corner for them. You know, it's a final. Why don't you push players up? You've got an opportunity to score a goal here, and you're keeping so many players behind the ball.
They're afraid of the counter-attack, but you're saying they should be out there trying to get onto the ball. Here's a chance for a shot, not very well taken. You could have seen the hesitation even in the step. The calculation was not going to work well for Shafano Yugi. It's going to be a goal kick, but a more exciting second half, you must say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it opened up in the last 10 minutes. We've had more opportunities
than what we saw in the first half. Let's go like it's still 0-0. And again, it's going to be picked up by the Kariobangi Shark side. Again, trying to single out Duke Abuya. It's pushed back into the midfield. A friend of mine, Stephen, wants me to say that he's never forgiven you for the fact that you had a draw against Manchester United that gave the noisy neighbours their first Premier League title. He's being overly a Manchester United fan. Do you remember that game, don't you?
I do. I do remember the game. I got a lot of people insulting me after that game as well.
Why?
Because obviously it was one of those games where...
Yeah, but you only play for Everton, not Manchester United.
Yeah, you know, for us it was for them costing them the league title,
yes.
And people weren't happy, especially people back home in South Africa as well. Also some of my fans.
I'll tell you, this is a Manchester United fan from Kenya, and he likes to call himself Alex Ferguson as well. His nickname is Ferguson, so he says he was really annoyed at you. But that's English football. It's that competitive that at times a draw on one side will cost you a title.
And it was second last game as well of the season, so it was, for us as Evertonians, we went out, we had nothing to lose, we just went out
you just wanted to enjoy yourselves.
Last few games, so yeah, unfortunately for United, it wasn't a title.
I'll tell him you said sorry. But now we're into the final of the Sport Pesa Cup, and it's looking very likely that we'll have a goal in this second half, judging by the way they're pushing it. Sharks as well pushing it. There's no one behind that ball on the left side of the attack. Slumped forward in a big way. Again, it goes on to the left side, and Nixon Omondi just left it to Abege, who switches it onto the right side to Harrison Mwendwa. This time round, not going in through that right side as Nkata cut him off. This is Wadri. And the 3 blue jerseys up at the front, one of which is Wadri's, tries to cut it back and then tries to take the resultant block. It's going to be a throw-in. With Bandari making another substitution here. They will bring in Brian Otieno. They had another player injured as well who was going to the bench. This is Kariobangi Sharks picking it it up with Duke Abuya with a shot, not very well taken. He takes better shots from there. He knows that has not gone well for him. But another player down on the ground. So obviously the road to the finals, getting the better of the players, especially on the Bandari side. But Abuya didn't take a very good shot either. He hurried it out. Hassan Abdallah is claiming that he's been hit in the face somewhere. Well, we might just get a chance for it to be done again. There it is. Well, Shiveka would have been the man at the center of it all. There are players who will get you booked for any event, but also there are players who will get you insightful. They will incite you into anything in the field of play.
Yeah, you have to use all the tactics that you can to win a game, and I think that's
what Abdallah is doing.
That's exactly
He
what
just went down, but he hadn't been touched. He claims that there was a touch on his forehead there. But the ref said, look, if you are injured, then you must get some treatment off the field of play. But he got up quickly. That's the one thing that I marvel at in the game of football, that players get well very quickly.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable how it happens, the magic eyes or the magic spray.
You want to get back into the game, and especially if there's somebody else warming up to take your place, you get up even faster.
Yeah, you're quick on your feet.
Duke Abuya trying to power up a through
ball.
to Mwendwa. Cuts it back, it's in the net! Harrison Mwendwa completes it with a backflip as well. And the Sharks can celebrate. It's just one through ball that comes from Duke Abuya that beats everybody else. Well, it looked harmless until Mwendwa controlled it the first time and second time and put it in the net. Harrison Mwendwa with probably the most important of goals that he will have done and scored here. The ball is headed back, picked up by Duke Abuya. Mwendwa begins his run very nicely. Feli Buluba is trying to put it on line for an offside. He beats the offside, controls one and the second time, puts it in on the left foot. He's just looked down, beats up the defender, beats the defender Barado Diambo, and beats the goalkeeper as well. That's what you were talking about, Harrison Mwendwa.
The composure.
The composure.
The composure. If you look at Duke, you know, he received the ball, turn. First thing in his mind is to look for the forward pass, and the weight of the pass was unbelievable. For number 10, I think that's pass of the tournament.
That's the pass of the tournament, coming from Duke Abuya. Then he pushes it through to Harrison Mwendwa, who puts it in the net. The scoreline has changed at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. Kariobangi Sharks 1. It's Bandari 0. But I tell you, this will change the way the game is going to be played. In fact, you could say now, we've got a game in our hands now.
Yeah,
because
we do.
Bandari will try to level the scores, and the Sharks will try to even increase the goal tally, with Mwendwa trying to cut it back for Abege. Because off the field of play, he's beginning to enjoy himself now, isn't he?
He's alive now.
He's alive now.
Alive. You can see the excitement every time he gets the ball. He's direct, he's using his pace. He's taking players on, he's trying to force something out of nothing, and you know, that's what I like about him. He's positive.
He is positive in the way that he approaches the game. Harrison Mwendwa changing the scoreline here. This is Duke Abuya, another one who can change the pace of the game. He goes on a left foot shot this time. It's not on target, and he's going to have to do it better. Of Kariobangi Sharks, I think he likes what he's seeing, and he knows that his team is on the up and up. They did win the domestic cup as well, the Kariobangi Sharks side, beating the defending champions in the process as well. And then they beat them again in the Premier League match, and I can tell you it's not been easy. 3 times on the trot they've beaten the defending champions.
Oh, that's a good result. If you can beat the champions 3 times on the trot, then you know, and you're up to win your second cup. You know, coach is definitely doing a good job.
Harrison Mwendwa will probably get a little advice from the coaches as well, but surely the through ball was a tearing through ball. 1-2 control on the right foot from a very acute angle, and chased by a defender as well. Alison Mwendwa uses his left to cut it back, beating the goalkeeper from Chicano as well. The toss of the game at the moment in the number of minutes that we are playing so far. And Nicholas Major getting a little bit of medical attention. They've relied on him on that right side. This time round, he wasn't there when the through ball was coming. Okonkoro pushes it out. Just getting overzealous in the clearance. Vincent Wasambo. Yeah, that's what happens when your team is one down. The drums get a little bit heavier, and then they get a little bit silent. They start playing in capital letters, but after that, they adopt the small letters. Wadri opening it up on the right side for Hassan. He's got a run and a half, but he, curves just a little bit too far trying to chase that ball. Should have been going more direct to get there. For the Sharks. A 61st minute marvel by Alison Mwendwa. This is Carter trying to get some central penetration here on Moto, then sends it out to Bodo. Mwendwa will not challenge for the high balls. He's got a massively big defender just behind him. I think it's the decision by Feli Mulumba to play for offside that actually helped Alison Mwendwa to go through, because that through ball tore through the defense. It's going to be a free kick for the Bandari side. Bandari playing it very fairly with just 6 fouls that they've committed. The Sharks have done 11. As Feli Mulumba then punches it into the area. The goalkeeper has a touch on it. Wadri tries to bring it back with the goalkeeper away from his area, but his defenders running to pick it up from the line. Goes out for a throw-in. It's going to be for Bandari. So we didn't think that there's going to be goals in this second half, of course. And I think now everybody will be trying to win it within the regulation time to evade the 30 minutes of extra time that would play if they drew it. The percentage possession is still with the Sharks, but now playing slightly outside their area. But Wadri here knows that if he gets this past all this cluster here, he would probably be getting it into the net, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it was a lot of players in front of him, a lot of
too many bodies that he had to get the ball over.
Yeah, it was impossible to go in.
But he chanced on it all the same. Nicholas Major is penalized for a foul on Duke Abuya. The left side of the attack is working best, and this would easily come out as retaliation as well, but it's looking like he's frustrated, and he's desperate as well to keep Duke Abuya and the rest from his wing. Moto again was trying to get Alison Mwendwa here. Bernardo Diambo casually setting it further up. Major pushes it, but only to the advantage of Duke Abuya. And this is Wasambo. So the Sharks have finally found their footing. They're enjoying themselves running the ball around, and they're forcing Bandari to chase it. Bandari staying in their defensive formation, although they know they need to get out into the midfield to get the ball. Bernardo Diambo finally getting onto it. Plays it to Nicholas Major. Looking for Hassan Abdallah on the right wing. One of the new substitutes in the game, Brian Otieno, also getting onto it. But he knows he's got to move faster. Loses possession here, and he's going to have to run back quickly. Duke Abuya is trying to open it up to Abege. He falls short of a completed pass. At a time like this, when you want to level the scores, at a time like this, when you have to increase the scoreline, the passing must be completed and must be accurate.
Yeah, it's 3v2. I don't know why is he rushing. You know, just be calm. You're in a good position. Get another second goal and then you shut up shop and you know it's game over. But yeah, he's just giving the ball away.
I think he rushed and tried to get a beggar into position, and it didn't work out for him. Shots forced into a defense now. Better clearance coming off Nixon Omondi. He's very, very confident in his position there. Bernardo Diambo plays it back to the goalkeeper Farouk Shikalo. So again, the Sharks rallying themselves back into ball position. And now they're overwhelming the Bandari side by playing in the midfield as well. Good ball down on the right side. With Wasambo controlling it out, he will need support. Abega is coming in for that as well. But he prefers to play it back to Bodo. Wasambo again. And Bodo just decides to lump it forward, and that's the only thing that stops it from being a very good move. It's now Nicolas Major who was going for it. With Farucci Carlo joining in the quest to try and get a goal for the Bandari side. Big clearance coming off the feet of Wasambo. Abege. Nice ball control as well, and noticing Harry, but he gives it just a little bit too much energy as well. Major just trying to keep it in play. Brian Ochieno has it for Bandari. It's a good ball to Saga, who tries to get over the last man on the side, but doesn't. Would have been exciting to know what would have happened, and he lobbed it just over the defender. Yemamwana would have been waiting for it there to finish it off. Kariobangi Sharks make a substitution. And they're bringing in Juma. Eric Juma is the man who's coming into the field of play. Oh, they're benching. Oh, it looks like they want to bench Harrison Mwendwa. Players do this a lot as well. Take off a couple of seconds from the game. Harrison Mwendwa, the scorer of the lone goal at the moment. A good left foot shot that he takes that goes right in between the feet of Farouk Shikalo, and he completes it with a backflip as well. Just for good measure and for better entertainment, he stretched it off on the other side. He knows that players to stop until he comes, until he gets off the field.
Yeah, he's put in a shift. He worked really hard, got his goal. You know, you can see now with the coach is trying to shut the shop. He's bringing in more defensive player for attacking players. So yeah, you know, I think it's a bit early to go a bit defensive for the Sharks.
But just slightly defend it a bit, you know, get a little bit defensive. I think I like what you said already, that he wants to close it. So when you want to close shop, you know, you've got to remove some of the stock from the sides and put it in. He had his Dukabuya's shot very easily taken by the goalkeeper Farouk Shikalo. There was a chance for another quick run as well, but didn't quite work out. Dukabuya's shot easily taken by the goalkeeper Farouk Shikalo. So Bandari have got to bring out their top drawer performance for the few minutes remaining if they want to share in the spoils here. They get a free kick, but now we are playing those minutes that we start counting down from. It's only 17.5 minutes that are remaining in this game in regular time. Colin Zakari sends it up there. The goalkeeper quickly picks it up. Well, a very deceptive one this time. You would have thought that it was going to evade the goalkeeper. He grabs it actually when it is goal bound, in my opinion. Just grabs it and turns the other side. He's not very confidently facing the ball. It's moving on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, he was going again into no man's land. I think he just wants to be involved most of the time.
I like the way you put it. You know, he's going to no man's land. He really doesn't need to go there. There's no reason for him. Sharks, yes, are in a defensive formation at the moment. They've got the solid backline of 4, but you can notice every time In the midfield, it turns into 3. Turns also into an attacking 3 when they have possession. This is played to Michael Bodo. Chested down by Msaga. Then turned back onto the right side to Asambo. Picked up by Bandari. Matila Omoto, well, he was trying to get it to Duke Abuya. But the flag catches him in the offside. Emerin Yogabo of Burundi. Well, makes a good decision on this one for offside on Duke Abuya. And that occasions a restart. 6 times the Kariobangi Sharks side have been caught in the offside trap. And Bandari has got to bring something from the drawers. They really are not going to do it, Stephen, and I said it before. You can't do the same thing every time and expect a different result.
Yeah.
Because we thought that they would come back and do the same thing, but now that the Sharks have changed strategy, they need to change the strategy as well, don't they?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to push players forward to go all out now. If it carries on like this, I don't see them getting a goal.
They've got to get possession in the midfield and move with it, but they're losing a lot of possession.
I think
in the midfield.
The Sharks are also controlling the game better than first half now. They're playing more in the third half of the pitch. So
you're very right about that. They are throwing in everything at the moment. They're throwing the kitchen sink as well. Keegan Demi comes in for Yema Mwano, has been very ineffective up front. Keegan Demi has got very deft touches and might just be the person who will change things a bit in the midfield. That's why they want to be able to get some play in the midfield. Hoping that it's not a case of too little, too late. He may just be able to change it for them. And they've rested a striker for that. So they will leave Wadri up front to try and get the ball possession. The Sharks still playing the same way now that they have in the second half, and it's working for them. Farouk Shikalo pushes it back into the midfield. So a big boot by Major to get the strikers running. The goalkeeper is also off his line. This means that he can only shield it off the field of play, and they do that effectively. To get it out for a goal kick for Kariobangi Sharks. Well, I'm sure the fans of Kariobangi Sharks in Nairobi by now are watching this with bated breath, thinking about the small club that just made a recent entry into the SportPesa Premier League in Kenya, and which won the domestic cup competition, and which has beaten the Premier League champions 3 times on the trot, and which is now playing in the SportPesa Cup, and which is now in the final, and which they are leading. Those are good accolades for a small team.
Yeah, definitely. You know, for a team to do so well in a short space of time, you know, no one expected them to come here and go to the final and actually leading.
And now they're leading the final. They've played in the Confederations Cup, you know, because of having won the domestic cup as well. They were eliminated, but they played very well in the first 2 preliminary matches. Got some very good experience as well. And now they're getting the better of bigger teams in different situations. Nicholas Major plays into Bernardo Diambo on the Bandari side. And Feli Mulumba. Must be looking at the difference between the prize money of the winner, which is $30,000 US, and the one for second place, which is $10,000 US, and thinking, you know what, we better go for the win. That's a foul. Feli Mulumba is involved in it. Georgia Bege comes down, and Feli says, makes it look like he's apologetic to it. Very hard tackling defender. Got a beg of this one. But a free kick will be given to the Kariobangi Sharks forward. Still urging them to play. That's the Bandari fan side. It's gone silent. The drums become very heavy to carry if you're losing. You know that. You do know that.
Especially going back home.
Yes.
It's a long way back.
Oh, it's a very long way back. I'll tell you. Making the trip from Mombasa to Dar es Salaam is not a joke. It's a long distance. And that attempted a shot going into the box, and it's been returned by Frali Mulumba. As Duke Abuya then picks it up for the Sharks. Again, Bernardo Diambo bringing some very anxious moments. The shortest way from Mombasa to Dar es Salaam would take you 9 hours and about 12 minutes because it's 501.7 kilometers. Now, if you've got to go that distance silently for 9 hours, because you're not going to beat the drums.
That's like I said, it's a long way back for these supporters, you know, passionate supporters. You have to do everything to make them happy.
To try and make things better. But with time quickly ticking by, they've got to show what exactly they want to use to make better. This goes out for a throw-in. This is going to be for... even as the Sharks make a substitution, they're benching a striker for another striker. Sydney Lokale, another of the very young but very good strikers as well on the Kariobangi Sharks side. And Sydney Lokale did score a very crucial goal against the defending champions Gor Mahia. One that was trending for a good number of weeks. Because the Sharks want to keep attacking and keep the defenders on their toes. Mr. Muluya is hoping that everything will work best. Maybe a throw in for Kariobangi Sharks. They wouldn't be in a hurry at about this time, because they know that they are leading this one. They will take their time to even take a free kick, wouldn't they?
No, they have to slow it down. You're leading 1-0, 10 minutes to go. So for them, I think they're quite experienced in doing it.
Yeah, there's a chance and a shot by Duke Abuya. Once you add to the goal that he scored already for the Kariobangi Sharks side, he brought in the assist in the game in which they won 2-1 and scored the first goal. Today, he's not getting that touch that is sending the balls to the net. For Brian Otieno, even the ball control evades him. You start watching every single move of the game at about this moment. You start watching every single intention by the strikers, by the goalkeepers as well. As the goalkeeper comes off his line, takes this one and relaxes. Knows that it'll take a couple of seconds off it. But he should be wary of being singled out for time wasting as well. The Sharks will send the ball off the field of play to get some attention onto their player who's down on the ground.
The ball is not gone out.
It's not. It's forced the goal. It's forced the referee to blow the whistle. The ball has not gone out. So at about this time, Stephen, what happens? The players are tired. Everybody's tired. They decide to take a couple of seconds off the game.
Yeah, you know how it is. The players will run away sometime. You know, sometimes I think it's a bit unprofessional. Maybe also fatigue is kicking in.
It's gamesmanship, not sportsmanship. It's just wanting to win by all, situations.
By all costs,
by all means.
You know, if you lay down for so long, why don't you get on a stretcher while you're walking on the pitch?
And then he's gonna go out, and as soon as he gets out there, he'll want to come back out there.
Being fit as a feather.
But we've seen this happen so often, even in international soccer, everywhere in the world. So. Not really strange trying to take some time off the game. back now to the Shark side. Wadri gets a touch on it and a big clearance then goes. This is Nkata. Hassan keeps it in play. And he's brought down and loses the advantage, so they have to play it again.
The Sharks are actually with a man shot. They didn't make a change. No one actually got back on to replace him. Oh, they're now gonna make the change.
Oh, it's almost like they were weighing out to see who was going to be coming in, so they brought in an extra player onto the field. So they brought in another of their tall players as well, John Kuola, who's got his origins in South Sudan. Is a tall man and can win the aerial balls as well. He's in jersey number 15 now. And he's replaced the man in jersey number 12, Vincent Wasambo. So he will be helping out in that defense. But the Sharks would probably have done that as well, just to make sure that some time rolls by. They didn't really need him that much. Never mind the fact that Wasambo was showing signs of fatigue. But John Kuol certainly has some good flair in the game for the Sharks. Hoping that flair will also show today. So together with Sidney Lokale, who's playing up front. Now they've got the taller of their men in the game. Carter pushes it back into the midfield. Kuol tries to challenge for it. Will be picked up by the Sharks again, and looking for a chance for a shot at goal, which takes a deflection as well. Very intently watching the game. This is the president of Football Kenyan Federation, Mick Mwendwa. Himself very associated with Kariobangi Sharks.
He would be a happy man.
Absolutely happy. Effectively, they say it is his team. So he brought it up from the lower tiers of football into the Premier League, and now they are beginning to enjoy themselves up. This looked like a chance for a shot at goal, but wasn't very well taken by the defender Bernardo Odhiambo. Comes so far off his line to do that.
Now the keeper's gone down.
Now the keeper's gone down.
That's what we're talking about, just managing the game now.
What would happen if it was in the English Premier League at the moment, the keeper is down here? What will happen? There will be a lot of boos all right.
There will be a lot of boos. You'll be insulted, calling all sorts of names. You know, in the Premier League, the supporters and the players don't like you to waste time, and this is like
they
you
want
said,
the game to go on.
It's not like sportsmanship. You're just wasting time, you know. But yeah, it's part and parcel of the game.
The score of the goal. Harrison Mwendwa is sitting on the bench, put through there, and Feli Bulumba will rue the time that he made that mistake of wanting to put Harrison Mwendwa in the offside position and staying in that line while the through ball tore through that defense and put him onside. Harrison Mwendwa is the one that has caused the difference here in the 61st minute, scoring the goal for Kariobangi Sharks. And the other men who've done duty for the side, Vincent Wasambo, is also sitting on that bench. Made only 2 substitutions. Bring in John Kuol, 3 of them. Bring in John Kuol and Sidney Lokale and Eric Juma. Kabuya chests it down for the Sharks. This will be a foul. It's right in front of the referee. He's lucky not to get a yellow card. It's very deliberate. It's from behind as well on Shafano Yugi. It's not the nicest of times for Ndemi, who's just come into the game now. He's been told by the referee to hold on there because the referee has got to attend to the sick person, for the injured person first, and then deal with Ndemi. He'll be lucky if he gets away with just a verbal caution. I think that's what has happened, I think. This one rolls out of the field of play. 2 minutes in regular time. What happens in a game like this if you are playing in this one and you've got 2 minutes to go and you are 1 goal down?
Huh?
As an attacking midfielder.
I'll throw everything in there, you know, just kind of lump it forward. Now is the time to just kick it and
make
push,
sure
push
all your men
bodies,
are going up front for it.
Because if you're going to be building up, you're not going anywhere. You need a ball to be in the final third, and how do you get it is by lumping it forward.
But if you are the Kariobangi Sharks, then you need to hold possession of it and just run it around and
Just
all the
frustrate,
time out.
frustrate the opponents by keeping possession, manage the game by keeping it in your own half, let them come to you and try and move forward. That's what I was saying, sportsmanship there.
Yeah, you got a yellow card for just wasting time, according to the referee. As Bandari try and go into this one. Duke Abuya will pick it up for the Kariobangi Sharks. And they've got enough men up front there. Wadri has it back. He's trying to make sure that he brings the Bandari side back into the game. This one was already going off the field of play. But the goalkeeper, I think, just wants to be involved, because if it goes out, he's got to start it very quickly. So why not stop it and spend a little time trying to bring it back in. 89th minute of the game. We are actually playing the 90th minute of the game. And Kariobangi Sharks are on the verge of creating history again for the side. Talk about fasts. And they did win the domestic cup as well. And now they are on the verge of winning the Sport Pesa Cup. They were there as well in 2018. Didn't go that far. And now in 2019, they would like to change things. It's going to be a free kick in the midfield. 90 minutes played. I think there's going to be 4 minutes of added time. That's still good time to play football. Of course, for the team that is leading at the moment, they would have liked it to be less than the 4 minutes. But for the team that is trailing, they would like even to have 5 so that they can try to make amends.
Yeah, definitely. If you're leading and you see 4 minutes going on the board, you're like, oh, Mr. F, can you please
can you just finish it now? But the fatigue levels are the same anyway, whether you are leading or you are not.
It's also a mental thing now. You just have to hold on and make sure you don't concede in the last couple of minutes.
They're pushing even Bernardo Diambo up at the front for this one. This 5 minutes to try and get things working for them. This one goes off the field of play. What an exciting game anyway. At the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. Getting at least better with every game that they play. Duke Abuya with Nkata trailing him. And he gives it a big cross that goes all the way to the other side. This is going to be a foul. So Bandari should realize that every time they commit a foul as well, play stops and time goes, and that's a yellow card offense as well. Saga is very lucky. Another shot coming off the Kariobangi Sharks side. They're looking at just 3 minutes more, and they would be winning the Sport Pesa Cup and the prize money of $30,000 and a chance to become the second East African side to play Everton FC. And this time round they will play them in Nairobi, because the final was between 2 Kenyan teams. It is going to be played in Kenya. Picked up by the goalkeeper. Going to take his time. He's going to enjoy himself a little. Stephen Pinar is the former attacking midfielder of Everton. What do you think about the tournament altogether, and especially in this game?
The tournament altogether, I think it was a great initiative. It's given players opportunity to come out here and showcase their talent from both countries, Kenya and Tanzania. And obviously the game, the final has been a game of 2 halves. First half a little bit boring, second half more exciting, and we got the pass of the match as well in the second half. So.
And your favorite player also did score in this one.
Yeah,
and that's what you wanted. You singled him out as a very, very technical player and a very good player as well.
He is a good player. You know, if not for his goal, I think for me today, Agege, is it Abege? Abege, for me, I think he man of the match.
He should be the man of the match.
He worked hard, he kept his team going.
They're making a big mistake here. Wadri doesn't get onto that ball as well. And they're trying to actually appeal the fact that there was another foul earlier on, but they should have finished it. Oyemba He already has a yellow card. You don't want to risk being given a red card in the very dying minutes of the game. He should just play and stay in his goal area. The Kariobangi Sharks are calling for another substitution. And, the referee says hold on a bit. Here is Oyemba. He came out, banged himself on Bernardo Diambo, banged onto another player as well. That should have been a penalty, you're saying?
The keeper made a big mistake there. He came out. If you go out, you have to catch the ball, hold on to it. You're using your arms.
Well, this is what you headed it again, and they cleared it. I think the whistle has gone on the other side, but this one, the goalkeeper came out and then banged the ball to that.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, that's what the one you're saying is a penalty. All right then. What about the first time here? It would look like he was infringed on by Bernardo Diambo, and then the second time,
he came in between his own defender. His defender was in his way, and he couldn't get a hold of it. But yeah, I think Bandari will be ruining that one. I think it's definitely a penalty.
They'll be very unhappy with it. But the whistle has gone for full time, and the Sport Pesa Cup 2019 edition has got a new winner. The Kariobangi Sharks side from Kenya. Third time that a Kenyan team is winning it, but the first time that Kariobangi Sharks is winning it. The CEO of Sport Pesa Kenya is on the other side with the Nairobi Senator Johnson Shakava, as the Sharks celebrate winning $30,000 US and also getting a chance to play Everton here in East Africa, more specifically in Kenya, after beating Bandari by 1-0. What a game, what an achievement as well for the young Kariobangi Sharks side. And the man who scores the goal is Harrison Mwenda. So we'll be looking at the statistics as well. Do they tell the story of the game with the ball percentage possession being in favor of the Sharks and the shots at goal as well?
Yeah, they deservedly, you can see with the possession, 55% shots, 12 shots, 12 fouls. I think five goals on target, five shots on target. I mean, they deserve it. They've played a better football as well. 7 corners, you know, like I said, being patient, build up football, and you know.
So would you say that the Sharks now played in the second half the way Bandari was playing in the first half? Because Bandari was pushing in the first half.
I think Bandari pushed, play.
Okay, let's hear what's going on the touchline, and then we'll talk to you again. Kauleni is there with the winners and the losers.
Raha iliyoje, barabara kabisa. Thank you very much Barado Teno and Steven Pina. English comment Kiswahili nilikuwa na mwenzangu pale Enoch Miadi Kauleni Hassan, na kama unavyoona uwanja umechangamka ajabu, shamra hizo baada ya Kariobangi Sharks kuwa timu ya pili kutoa taji hili la SportPesa Cup. Manake Gor Mahia 2017 papa hapa walipata ushindi wa mabao 3 dhidi ya AFC Leopards. Kisha mwaka jana Nakuru nchini Kenya wakapata ushindi wa mabao 2 dhidi ya Simba. Leo hii imeonekana, imeshuhudiwa, mechi imemalizika, ni wakati wa tuzo, wakati wa chanda kuvishwa pete, na ninaye mchezaji bora ambaye ametamba na kuwa man of the match. Kwa mara nyingine tena nilikupa dola 500 juzi baada ya kutamba. Leo hii unaikubali, unaikataa?
Naikubali kwa tena sana.
Steven Pina, ulizungumza naye ukamwambia utampa bao kwenye mechi ya finali. Unaizungumziaje mechi ya leo?
Kwa leo imekuwa ngumu kwa sababu tunajuana, tumetoka wote wa Kenya. Tumecheza sana Kenya, tunajuana sana. So imekuwa ngumu sana, but nashukuru sana tumeweza kushinda.
Wadri amechukua dola 1000, mechi mbili alikuwa man of the match. Wewe pia umechukua dola 500 kwa mara ya pili. Mashindano yamekupenda sana Mwendwa?
Ni bidii na Mwenyezi Mungu.
Kisha ninaye tunaweza tukaizungumzia, hii ndio mfano wa hundi, manake dola 500 umechukua wewe kuwa mchezaji bora kwenye mechi ya pili mfululizo. Unawaambiaje mashabiki wako haswa huko nyumbani?
Wakenya nataka kuwashukuru kwa hiyo opportunity wa kuweza kutupa support huko Kenya, and kwa sasa tuko na furaha, naona wenyewe wachezaji wetu wanafurahia. So sina mengi ya kusema, lakini tunaenda mahali tulikuwa tunataka kuenda.
Nenda ufurahie na wenzako na uchangamke. Harrison Mwendwa huyo amekuwa ndiye mchezaji alotamba kwenye mechi hii ya leo. Kila laheri na asante sana. Mtazamaji, ndivyo hali inavyokwenda hapa. Tunamzungumzia Harrison Mwendwa kuishia kuwa mchezaji alotamba na kupewa dola 500 kama ilivyokuwa nusu finali walipocheza dhidi ya Mbao. Sasa tutazungumza na wakufunzi kwa haraka tu kabla shamra na sherehe hazijashika kasi. Naye mkufunzi wa timu ya Bandari Bernard Mwalala. Mwalala, mechi tathmini yako kwa ujumla, Bandari ilistahili kupoteza?
Nadhani
karibia tu.
Asante. Nadhani hatujajutia hata kidogo. Imekuwa finali nzuri, imekuwa experience nzuri kwa vijana wangu. Tunaenda nyumbani tukiwa na vichwa juu kwa sababu timu yote kati ya Sharks na Bandari ilikuwa na uwezo wa kushinda. Ukiangalia on paper ama hata katika performance, Kariobangi hawajafungwa nyumbani kwenye ligi kuu, sisi hatujafungwa. Na nadhani wanatumia vijana chipukizi, tutatumia vijana chipukizi. So nadhani imekuwa ni fair results. Congratulate Kariobangi Sharks. Tunajipanga, hii hatuwezi kuweka kichwa chini, ili lazima safari iendelee.
Unaposema kujipanga na safari iendelee, kuna mashabiki wamesafiri wameufuatilia mpira wakiwa hapa kutoka Mombasa. Mmekuwa wageni mashindano haya na mmefika finali. Hii imekufunza nini?
Nasema kwangu mimi kama kocha pia ndio nimejikuta katika situation kama hii. Nawapongeza mashabiki ambao wamefika hapa kutokea Mombasa, na pia ningewahimiza kwa sababu hii crowd ambao nimeiona hapa sijawahi kuona kule Mombasa. Na ingekuwa vizuri wangekuwa pia wanakuja kule, na wahimiza kwamba wako wanakuja pia mechi zetu za ligi kule nyumbani ili hii timu tufikishe mahali tunaenda.
Kila laheri mechi za nyumbani za ligi.
Asante.
Bernard Mwalala anasema ndo hali ya mchezo, manake mwisho wa siku amepoteza ndio, lakini taji linakwenda nyumbani Kenya kama ilivyokuwa mwaka 2017. Bernard Mwalala ameishia kumaliza katika nafasi ya pili. Sasa hivi tumsikilize. Inabidi nipaze sauti manake shamra zinazidi. Tumsikilize William Luya ambaye ametamba na kuwa kocha bora wa mchezo. Coach, hongera sana tena sana. Vijana leo wamefanya kazi bwana.
Shukrani. Imekuwa kazi tuwesema rahisi wala ngumu, lakini pia ni kwa majaliwa ya Mola, amechangia pakubwa na vijana pia wakafanya kazi nzuri, tunawashukuru.
Mwaka jana baada ya kufungwa na Simba robo finali, umejifunza, umekuja ukatamba, umechukua taji hili. Inawapa msukumo gani vijana wako?
Cha maana ni nasema kwa maana tukija kwenye tournament, labda ndani yetu tulijua labda tunaweza ibuka washindi, lakini hatukuwa na yale maonyesho labda kuonesha sisi ni mabobwe.
Mchezaji wako Harrison Mwendwa mechi ya pili mfululizo man of the match, dola 1,000 bwana.
Ana haki ya kupata kwa maana mechi imeisha 1-0 na yeye ndiye amechangia pakubwa kupata bao hilo moja.
Coach, sherekea na vijana wako, tutazungumza mengi baadaye. Hali ndio kama hiyo mtazamaji, Bandari ndio machampioni, wanashangilia na kusherekea kweli kweli. Kwenye matangazo ya kabumbu ili tupate sherehe na hali itakuwaje. Bernardo Tieno na Steven Pina, endeleeni maana mie nitajiunga na mwenzangu Enoch. Wacha ngoma ilindime hapa.
Thank you very much Hassan Kauleni. Ali Hassan Kauleni is down on the touchline. He's enjoying the greater moments there. Well, we'll look at how it'll happen again. Abege was the first one to start the shot. I think it was in the 46th minute. It was just on the resumption, testing the goalkeeper Farouk Shikalo and making him stretch himself to the maximum to try and push the ball out of his area. But that signaled the entire danger in this second half, Stephen. It showed that the Sharks were bent on getting a goal in this second half.
Yeah, they came out very quick from the dressing room, and I think Bandari was still asleep. They came out
trying to get a very quick one on them.
Yeah.
On this other side, Hassan Abdallah. What do you make of his runs? He's got power, he's got pace as well, but he doesn't have the accuracy, the precision that is needed for him to be able to do the job here. This is one of those moments when he actually did move right into the box and had the composure, but the shot came in a little bit too late.
Yeah, I think it took one extra touch where he could have just turned, bend it around the corner for his teammate. And, that's an opportunity gone missing, and after that they got punished.
Your favorite moment is there. This ball is picked up in the Kariobangi Sharks half.
If you look at his turn,
look at
he can see the space already.
He's trying to play it for offside. And that's a mistake he makes because it doesn't cover the distance. Harrison Mwendwa is given a tearing through pass by Duke Abuya.
The pass, the finish is good. The pass, though, before, his awareness, just where he is on the center of the pitch to turn pick that pass out. The weight of the pass was unbelievable. Even
I agree with you. It totally shows that the Sharks players know exactly how they're playing with each other, and in all situations.
You could see when Duque picked up the pass, Harrison was already on the move.
He was already on the run.
He knew where he wants the ball, and you know.
And Harrison just had 3 touches on that ball. He touched one and a second one on the right foot. And on the left, he put it in. So these are all the results that you've had. Kariobangi Sharks going to the finals, having beaten Yanga 3-2. Bandari going through, having beaten Singida by 1 goal to nil. And then Gor Mahia eliminated by Mbao FC on penalties, 4-3 after 1-1 in full time. Simba beating the Leopards 2-1. And ultimately going into the next round of events, it came up to the Sharks getting into the finals after winning their semi-finals. And with Bandari as well getting in there after winning their semi-finals. So now it will be the time, of course, to reward them. And apart from just a check of $30,000 for the winner, there is a 7 kilogram, well, just about 8 kilogram trophy as well. That is the Sport Pesa Cup. It's got the inscription of another Kenyan team, Gor Mahia, twice. They would have kept it the 3rd time if they had won their games and got into the finals and won it. Then they would have been going on with it forever. But now there's going to be another name on it as well. The Kariobangi Sharks will etch their name into being the new champions of the Sport Pesa Cup and the 3rd champions since inauguration in 2017. First time it was played here at the National Stadium in the finals between Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards. In Dar es Salaam, and then last year it was played in Nakuru in Kenya, in which again Gor Mahia did win it, and your former teammate as well was there. Yakubu Yegbeni, another of the legends of Everton, was in Nakuru for that as well. And then this time round it's been won in Dar es Salaam. Serge Wawa, who plays for Simba now, having started his career at Azam here in East Africa, has gone out to congratulate all the winners there. And now it's going to be time to give the awards. The permanent secretary in the sports ministry in Tanzania is here as well as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Sports in Kenya. Ambassador Kaberia as well is there to escort the PS in the sports ministry, Susan Mlawi. But they've also got the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, an African Union diplomat as well. Together with a good number of other dignitaries to give out the medals and ultimately the big prize of the trophy. This is the biggest moment always in a championship, when you line up to receive your medals and receive the trophy as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've worked so hard, and that's the cherry on top of the cake. You know, you can't wait. You're anxious to go on, put your hands on the trophy, and you know, for all the players that took part, all the teams that took part, there can only be one winner, and I think Sharks deservedly so.
They deserve to win it.
Yeah, they deserve to win it.
Normally, you also worry about. You know, whether or not you think about why you shouldn't have been the one up there receiving the trophy ultimately. We've seen sometimes teams boycotting, coming to take their medals for being runners-up, but in a sportsmanship gesture, everybody must get there. In a tournament, all the officials as well get rewarded for the brilliant job they have done. So for the officials who are here as well, yeah, a couple of decisions that didn't go very well, a couple of decisions that you have to look at twice, a couple of decisions that we get to see on a second, third look. But ultimately getting the job done. They were from Malawi and they were from Burundi and from Tanzania as well. The matchcoms were from Tanzania and the reserve referees as well. But the center referees were from Malawi and Burundi. They've done their job here. Godfrey Kakananga, Gustavo Baguma, Clemens Kanduku, Jones Yarukia, and Omar Abdul Kadir, Eric Mani Rakiza, Emery Nyongabo, Edward Kambatua, Martin Sanya, and Hassanola. You know, the Sharks have started their celebration already on the other side. They couldn't care less about what's happening in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. They want to give you time to finish that, and then they'll come to take the ultimate prize.
I was going to ask you, I didn't know the they've got New Zealand's in Kenya. I see they're doing the haka.
Trying to do the haka, but this must be the Kenyan
this is
version
the
of the haka. The only problem is they're doing it when another ceremony is going on the other side. They should have done it when they're receiving the trophy on this side. They must be distracting a little bit of the the event on this side, but they're very excited about having won this tournament.
You can see also the players of Simba watching them celebrate on the side. But you know, sometimes
I'll be honest with you. I'd like to hear what they're saying, because
you have to be respectful
of what's going on the other side.
On the other side.
But I think somebody needs to go and tell them to hold on, to hold their guns. Otherwise, it might just look disrespectful to the others who are receiving the third and fourth place playoff. The goalkeeper, I think, is getting the man of the match performance, or the man of the tournament performance. It should be Metacha Mnata of the Bao FC side. He had a brilliant game in the third and fourth place playoff, saving a lot of the shots that were coming in his direction. And yeah, he's been very, very prolific in goal for the Bao FC side. Metacha Mnata, I think, has been mentioned as the man of the tournament altogether.
He's gone home.
They probably will be looking for him to find it, because they played third and fourth place. They could have left the stadium because they played much earlier on. They're looking for the goalkeeper of the Bao FC side, Metacha Mnata, who I think has been mentioned as the man of the tournament, with his goalkeeping prowess here at the stadium. So at least they didn't come out with nothing. The Golden Gloves, I think, yeah, that's the Golden Gloves award that goes to the Bao FC goalkeeper, Mnata Metacha.
I think he deserved it. He had a lot to do in the third play.
Yeah, he did.
In the game before.
There was so much work for him.
Yeah, definitely. And the more, if you keep a team like Simba out, you definitely deserve that award.
Well, Dukabuya would be getting the top scorers award, I think, in this tournament. It looks like it's the Golden Boot Award.
Is it top scorer or Golden Boot Award, player of the tournament?
I think it's the player of the tournament that he's getting here, because his coach just won gold, didn't he?
I think that pass obviously gave him
the through ball. Yeah, that worked so well. He was just in the Football Kenya Federation president congratulating him on the other side. William Wadri must be picking up again another check for man of the match in the game that Bandari has played here, and he will get himself another check of $500. That's $1,500 that he's picked up from this tournament. He could play in a tournament every day if it goes like this. That's good money to pick up on a daily basis, on a match basis.
It's not a bad week for him.
No, absolutely not.
He just made his salary back in 3 days time.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good thing to do. When you exert yourself in a game very nicely, then you show what you're made of. You're going to get rewarded, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So now we'll be coming up for the third place playoff. And for Simba Sports Club, they would have been coming out in the fourth place. From Bao FC, they will come up in the third place. So the medals will be given by all the officials who are here. Oh, the players have got to move right up to the end, because the medals are spread out onto the other side just so that it can be a little bit faster. Otherwise, you might end up just getting a handshake on this other side, and the medals are coming from just one person. But Bao FC, Simba FC, who are in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And Bao takes the 3rd place. And a check, of course, for $7,500 as well. And then Simba will go home with a check for $5,000. The winner takes $30,000. And the runner-up takes $10,000. Still good money to pick up your game of football. This is Simba FC players. They are not very happy, but yeah, that's the nature of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't look happy. I think they came into the tournament as favorites to win the cup, playing at home as well. So yeah, you should be disappointed to only finish 3rd.
Oh, I just picked up Lamin Moro there, Sage Wawa as well, and Koulibaly, who are going up to pick their medals for the 4th place. Difficult tournament again for Simba Sports Club. They went one down because they at least got into the finals of last year's tournament. But this time around, restricted to the 4th place and beaten by Bao FC, who's the only team again to have beaten them in the Premier League so far. They've only lost one game, Simba FC, and it was courtesy of Bao FC.
Maybe Mbao got something on them.
Yeah, although it was a penalty. But just to restrict the defending the champions to something like that tells you that they worked very hard for it. Now, this is Bandari taking the medals for the runners-up. They'll also take the check for $10,000. The president of Football Kenya Federation is the one on the extreme right. He knows these players very well. Plus, he's been in the hood with them and also being associated to a very high degree with Kariobangi Sharks. He knows that he meets all these players in the estates, in the hood, where they also play off-season tournaments and where they also play their other matches as well. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Ambassador Kaberia, is also helping out in the dishing of the medals, together with the SportPesa CEO from Kenya. Flight Captain Karauri, and other SportPesa officials from Tanzania as well. Yusuf Singo, on the CEO of FKT as well, Robert. All of them up on the podium for the medal ceremony. But that crowning moment has got to be that time when that trophy is lifted, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, for the players, you can see they can't wait to go onto the stage. So, yeah.
They probably were warming up for it by doing the Maori war dance, the aka, on the other side. I would have just liked to know in what language they were doing it. So they're organizing themselves, the Kariobangi Sharks. There's going to be a new winner in the 2019 SportPesa Cup from the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. The TM Edwin Oduora just gotten his medal as well, and then the captain of his side as well, Feli Mulumba Chiyoyo. Kariobangi Sharks did play with Simba in the 3rd qualifier in 2018. So second time of asking, they have won it. And they'll be getting their medals as well. Very excited. They're getting used to being on the podium now in tournament competitions.
That's a good sign from the club. I think the coach has instilled that winning mentality. You know, when you taste success the first time, you want more.
You want to be there all the time.
You can see with the way the players came out second half. It's they went for it and they just wanted to win the tournament, and they deserve it.
They really did put their hearts in it as well and played very well, even in the quarter-final, coming into the semi-final. In the final, they lost a little bit of their game in the first half because the Bandari side really restricted them, and then ultimately they now got their rhythm. Now you see the different kind of shoulders that are on the right side of your screen. These are boys from the hood, and they are hugging the big boy from the hood as well. He knows them very well.
Yeah, it's so good to see. You know, you see these kids all the time in the hood. So for him to be there, and I think it's just happy. You can see the president, it means a lot to him as well.
It does, it does. They'll be donning on the jerseys of the winners as well to come back for the trophy. But they've given the shoulders, they've given the hugs. They've got to the medals as well. They will be going on with a check of 30,000 shillings. But one last thing must be done before it all settles into the trophy. And the captain is the one who will come for it. Patila Omoto, who stand up for the national team as well. In one of the emerging talents from the Kariobangi Sharks, is the captain of the side, and he picks up the check for $30,000. Here now, the almost 7 or 8 kilograms Sport Pesa Cup is going to be handed over to the winners of 2019 Sport Pesa Cup. A new champion this time round, in the name of Kariobangi Sharks. So it's already been given out to the captain of the side, and we'll just be waiting to lift it. I think they're just waiting for the okay then to be given to them. Here it is now. You've got your new champion of the 2019 Sport Pesa Cup. The Kariobangi Sharks will lift it. A glorious moment for a new team. Second time they're lifting a tournament trophy after they took the domestic cup. They now have the Sport Pesa Cup as well. A brilliant display of football by the young champions, who finish it off against a very seasoned teams, young Africans, Simba, Gor Mahia, all waylaid in this process, and it goes to the Kariobangi Sharks. A lovely competition that we've had here. And congratulations to the champions as well, the Kariobangi Sharks 2019 Sport Pesa Cup champions.
Champions, we say!